Hosts, my and Alex format. 5 connected scenes, each in a different real life setting, so you can hear how the same phrase changes meaning slightly depending on where it's used. A full index of all 100 items is at the end. Scene 1, catching up, 2 friends, everyday life. Sound, coffee shop ambience. Alex. Hey, it's been forever. How have you been? Alex, honestly, kind of buried. Work's been a lot. I've had to deal with 3 deadlines at once this month. I know that feeling. So, how are you coping? Did you figure out a way to manage it all? Alex, barely. I finally came up with a system. I write everything down the night before. Took me weeks to find out what actually works for me. My, that's smart. I still haven't worked out my own routine. My apartment is a mess. My finances are a mess. Alex, okay, one thing at a time. Let's sort out the apartment first. Is it really that bad? It's bad. I can't focus on anything when it's cluttered like that. Alex, have you thought about just blocking out a weekend for it? I keep meaning to, but I can't even keep up with my laundry, let alone a deep clean. I feel like I'm always trying to catch up. Alex, you're not falling behind, you're just going through a busy season. Everyone goes through this. Maybe. It's been a rough year. My dad was sick, and I had to help my mom look after him for a few months. Alex, I didn't know that. Is he okay now? My, getting better. It really tested me, but we're finally getting over the worst of it. Alex, I'm glad. If you ever need someone to help you out seriously, just call. Thanks. And honestly, my sister and we don't always get on with each other easily, but this whole situation brought us closer. Alex, families are like that. Sometimes you just have to put up with the friction because underneath it, you actually care. Exactly. Anyway, enough heavy stuff. Can I point out something? You look a lot more relaxed than last time I saw you. Alex, thanks. I've been trying to take my own advice. Actually, since you brought up how you want to get organized, I started a habit of writing a short follow-up note to myself every Sunday, just to think over the week. That's such a good idea. I think I need to move on from just complaining about being disorganized and actually stick with a system for once. Alex, you could set up a simple planner. Or actually, there's a course on productivity I signed up for recently. Want the link? Yes, please. I really need to plan ahead better instead of just reacting to everything. Alex, deal. Let's set up a time next week to check in on how it's going. And scene 1. Scene 2. Monday morning at the office. Sound. Office ambience. Keyboard clicks. Manager, Sarah, all right team. Let's get started. First, Alex, didn't you say you wanted to take up the new client account? Alex, yes, I'd like to take that on if the team's okay with it. Sarah, great. Just keep on doing what you've been doing. Your numbers have been solid. Before we move on, can I bring something up? I think someone's been trying to make up an excuse for missing the last 2 check-ins. I won't name names. Sarah, let's not point fingers. If someone's struggling, they should say so. We'll pay back the favor when they need help later. That's how a team works. Alex, speaking of which, I found an old invoice we forgot to send. Should we just give away the service for that project or still charge for it? Sarah, let me look into it before we decide anything. Funny story. I actually ran into our old client, Mr. Tran, at the airport last week. Alex, no way. Small world. I came across his name in our files just yesterday. Sarah, we should reach out to him again. Anyway, I heard there was some tension in the design team last week. Yeah, one of the junior designers had to stand up for her idea when it got dismissed too quickly. I was proud of her, honestly. Sarah, good. People should feel safe to speak up here. Alex, should we wrap up this meeting soon? I have a call in 10 minutes. Sarah, almost. Let's just clear up one more thing, the report deadline. If anyone's stressed about it, calm down. We can extend it a day. That actually cheers me up. I was dreading tonight. Sarah, good. Everyone remember to check in with your team lead before you check out for the day. And please log into the new system. You'll need to switch on 2-factor authentication. Alex, got it. Do we still need to manually switch off the old server? Sarah, yes, and make sure IT backs up everything first. I still need to fill out that HR form and hand in my expense report. Sarah, right, don't forget. HR will pick up on it if it's late again. Please don't put it off another week. Noted. On it today. And scene 2. Scene 3, a university seminar. Sound. Quiet lecture hall. Papers shuffling. Professor. Good morning, everyone. Today we're discussing personal development in academic life. Let's start simple. Why is it important to set a goal before starting a big project? Student, Lynn, because without one, it's hard to know if you actually achieved a goal or just did busy work. Professor, exactly. And once you commit to a goal, you have to take responsibility for the outcome, good or bad. Student, Duck, but sometimes we face a challenge we didn't expect. Like, my group had to completely face a problem with our data halfway through the semester. Professor, that's real research. Now, Lynn, you mentioned communication earlier. What role does it play in teamwork? Lynn, a huge one. If you can't communicate effectively, the whole project falls apart, honestly. Professor, right. And how do you feel about receiving feedback? Duck, at first it's uncomfortable, but I've learned to actually ask for it. I'd rather someone give me honest feedback than stay quiet. Professor, good mindset. That's part of why I try to give guidance rather than just grades. Lynn, it's also helped us raise awareness about issues in our own project we hadn't noticed, like we only became aware of a data error because a classmate pointed it out. Professor, that's a great example of peer review working. Has anyone gotten involved in something outside of class this semester? Duck, I joined the debate club. It's created opportunities for me to practice public speaking. Professor, excellent. And has it helped you complete tasks more efficiently elsewhere? Duck, definitely, because debate forces you to follow instructions about structure and time limits strictly. Professor, good discipline. Lynn, what have you learned about acquiring knowledge independently outside lectures? Lynn, that it requires critical thinking, not just memorizing. And honestly, some creative thinking too, connecting ideas from different classes. Professor, well said. Let's practice that now. In your groups, share information you've gathered this week, then gather information from at least one other group before we draw a conclusion together. Classroom murmur. Professor, once you're ready, we'll discuss the topic as a class and try to address the issue we raised earlier about incomplete data. I'd also like each group to make a contribution to the shared document, and if you have one, make a recommendation for how future classes should handle this assignment. And scene 3. Scene 4, a news and trends discussion, radio style segment. Sound, soft studio music intro. Alex, welcome back. Today we're looking at how technology is reshaping daily life. From what you've read, what stands out? Honestly, the sheer high quality of tools available now to ordinary people is wild. A wide range of apps that used to require a whole team. Alex, and a huge amount of data is being processed by these systems every second. Right, and many of them are highly effective at what they do. Some AI writing tools, for instance, are increasingly popular with students. Alex, which makes media literacy increasingly important, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The industry is going to grow rapidly over the next decade, and honestly, expectations change rapidly too. What impressed us a year ago feels ordinary now. Alex, there's a positive impact, for sure. More access, more convenience. But there's also a negative impact worth discussing. Right, over-reliance can have consequences, like weaker critical thinking skills if people stop questioning what they read. Alex, so how should schools or companies respond? What would it take to work effectively with this shift instead of resisting it? I think institutions need to develop a strategy, not just react. And honestly, they'll need to make adjustments constantly because the tech won't slow down for them. Alex, which brings up expectations. How do you meet expectations in a field that changes this fast? By treating adaptability as a high priority. Training plays an essential role here. Alex, what would you say is the main factor driving all this change? Probably accessibility. It's a major advantage that these tools are now cheap and easy to use. That's also a major cause of how fast adoption spread. Alex, Is there a major difference between how younger and older generations are adapting? Definitely. That's a current trend worth watching. And it'll shape future development in education specifically. Alex, any effective method you'd recommend for someone trying to keep up?
Mais honestly,
Just staying curious. It sounds simple, but it's extremely useful, more than any single tool. Alex, great note to end on. Thanks, Mai. End scene 4. Scene 5, mixed situations, same phrases, new contexts. This scene deliberately reuses some of the most flexible phrases from earlier in completely different situations to show how one phrase adapts to many settings. Sound, family kitchen, mom. Can you help your brother out with his homework? He's trying to figure out this math problem. Son, sure. Hey, did you already come up with an answer, or are you stuck? Brother, stuck. I don't know how to deal with fractions. Son, let's sort it out together. Just focus on one step at a time. Sound, airport gate. Traveler 1. Ugh, our flight got delayed again. I need to look into rebooking. Traveler 2. Let's check in at the counter first. Maybe they can sort out a new gate for us. Traveler 1. I hope we don't run into another delay tomorrow. Traveler 2. Try to calm down. We'll figure it out. Sound, doctor's office. Doctor. So, it looks like your body is trying to deal with some stress. Have you had to face a challenge at work lately? Patient. Yes, a lot, honestly. I've been trying to work out a better sleep schedule, but it hasn't helped much. Doctor. Let's develop a strategy together, small adjustments first. I'll also give you some guidance on stress management, and we'll follow up in 3 weeks. Patient. That would be a major relief, honestly. Sound. Startup office, casual. Founder. We need to come up with a plan before the investor meeting. Co-founder. I've been trying to figure out our pricing. It's honestly become a high priority this week. Founder. Let's focus on the main factor, user growth. That's had the most positive impact so far. Co-founder. Agreed. I'll look into the numbers tonight, and we can wrap up the plan tomorrow morning. Founder. Perfect. Let's not put it off any longer. End scene 5. End of podcast.